Shabbat Shalom, beautiful Pnei Or Chevra and extended family far and wide. Parshat Yitro, one of the most famous parshayot in Torah. The fulfillment of the fourth redemptive promise that we heard in Parshat Va'era. These are the promises we heard. V'hotzeti, and I will take you out from the sufferings of Mitzrayim. V'hitzalti, and I will save you. V'ga'alti, and I will redeem you, eliminating old oppressive patterns. V'lakachti, and I will take you to me. V'yadatem, and you will know that it is I, the breath of life, your God and your guide, who is taking you out. I will replace old patterns with new ones and give you a whole new paradigm for living, a deep healing and a fundamental paradigm shift. V'lakachti, and I will take you to me. V'yadatem, and you will know. It is a deep healing and fundamental paradigm shift. In this Parsha, we begin the journey that leads to Har Sinai. The divine voice calls to us, Va'asa etchem al kanfei nisharim va'avi etchem elai, v'tem li segula ki li kol haaretz. V'atem tiyu li mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh. I did lift you up on loving eagle's wings and brought you back to me. You will be my treasured ones, for all the earth is mine. And you will be a sacred family, in touch with the divine forever, for all time. Born on eagle's wings, camped at Har Sinai, we witness the most powerful collective revelation of the divine recorded in history. It changes us and history forever. At Sinai, amidst thunder and lightning, we feel heaven and earth touch. We hear the Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments. But of course, there are far more than 10 mitzvot here. We embark on a whole new paradigm of living. V'lakachti, and I will take you to me. V'yadatem, and you will know that it is I, the breath of life, your God and your guide, who is taking you out. I did lift you up on eagle's wings and brought you back to me. But wait, let's dip back to acknowledge Yitro, for the Parsha bears his name and begins with him in an unusual way. And Yitro heard. When we last met Yitro, he was the wise elder holy man of Midian, under whose tutelage Moshe thrived, whose daughter Tzipporah Moshe married, and whom Moshe had left behind along with Tzipporah and their 2 sons to embark on the lethally risky mission of leading our people out of slavery. News of our miraculous success, our escape, the drowning of the Egyptian chariots, and our arrival in the Midbar has clearly reached him. And Yitro heard. With tents, flocks, and family, Yitro rushes to meet Moshe and see for himself the enormity of the miracle, to embrace Moshe and celebrate. Yitro, too, perhaps, also heard about Amalek and how we were ambushed and what we learned from that. We were victorious, but still vulnerable. For in our rush to freedom, we'd failed to protect the weakest from attack, to embrace a whole new paradigm of living. We still have a lot to learn. We'll also weather bitter conflicts and backlash, for the path of change is not easy. Yitro hears and sees. He sees, for instance, that people are standing in line to consult with Moshe from morning till evening. Moshe does not know how to delegate and is burning out. Yitro gives his famous advice, and a decentralized system of hearing grievances is set up. Yitro sees and teaches. Moshe learns. So much to see, so much to learn. This is how our journey to Har Sinai begins. True, in a few months, we together will relive this story again. We'll gather, presumably still virtually, to celebrate our rush to freedom at Pesach. We'll travel our journey to Sinai as we count the Omer. And at Shavuot, we'll stand again at Sinai, opening our hearts to the I Am of the universe. Together, we receive Torah. Today, we read the story as it happens. Yitro departs, and we move on. Har Sinai awaits. There, at this eerily remote desert mountain, God reveals God's self to us amid lightning and claps of thunder, in acts and visions so compelling that our entire national consciousness is restructured. The Midrashic legacy elaborates on the power of the experience. Some say it induced a synesthetic trance. We saw the voices and heard the visions. We saw voices and sparks of fire and flashes of lightning, the letters of the commandments and flames of fire. Others say that when God's voice came forth at Har Sinai, God's voice divided into 70 human languages so that the whole world might understand. All peoples, young and old, women, children, infants, all according to their ability. Even Moshe. Even Moshe, too, only understood to the limits of his capacity. This is instructive. Yet others report a deep, profound silence beyond time and space. When the Holy One gave the Torah, time stopped. No bird screeched, no owl flew, no ox mooed, none of the angelic Ophanim flapped a wing, nor did the seraphim sing Kadosh, Kadosh. The sea did not roar. Throughout the world, there was only silence. Throughout the world, there was only silence as the divine voice went forth. Anochi Elohecha. I am the one, the breath of life, your God. Yet others say, we heard not even that. Nothing but the reverberating oneness of the infinite silent Aleph, first letter of the first utterance, Anochi. Rashi says that in opening our hearts to Torah, we achieved pure, unified, collective consciousness, like one person with one heart, one love, one heart. V'yadatem, and you will know. And you will know that it is I, the breath of life, your God and your guide, who is with you and within you. Anochi Adonai Elohecha. I am within you, all around you. I fill the universe. I have brought you back to me. I am the power that frees you to become your highest and most true self. Open your heart. Receive Torah and understand freedom in an entirely new way. Freedom as commitment. Freedom as love. Freedom as holiness. The walk from Mitzrayim to Har Sinai is a walk from liberation to commitment, from a rush to freedom to deep purpose. We commit ourselves and all future generations to sacred service, to be a holy people in a Brit Olam, an eternal covenant, a Brit Olam, an eternal covenant with the Creator. V'yadatem, and you will know. Har Sinai opens a whole new paradigm of living. Life is challenge, refinement, preparation, an opening to discover God's active presence in our lives, in Torah, in mitzvot, and life as a response to a very active and present power that calls us every moment to service and to holiness. We will be a sacred family, in touch with the divine, forever, for all time. Beautiful friends, as always, If any of these insights touch your life and circumstances in any way, when we will call our unified Aliyah to Torah, rise in any way you might wish and reach towards Torah. At this time, if you are group watching, you are invited to hit pause and engage in some holy conversation. Welcome back. We enter the gate of Torah. ואשא אתכם על כנפי נשרים, ואביא אתכם אליי. ויתן לי סגולה כי לי כל הארץ, ואתם תהיו לי ממלכת כהנים, וגוי קדוש. I did lift you up on loving eagle wings. I have brought you back to me. I did lift you up on loving eagle wings. I have brought you back to me. You will be my treasured one, for all the earth is mine, and you will be a sacred family in touch with the divine, forever, for all time, forever, for all time. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlul Adonai iti, uneramema Shemo Yachdav. Once again, beautiful friends, as we call our unified Aliyah to Torah, if any of the teachings of this morning touch your heart in a particular way, you may rise in any way you might wish and reach towards Torah.
ויעזור ויגן ויושיע לכל החוסים בו ונאמר אמן. הכל הבו גודל אלוהינו ותנו כבוד לתורה. יעמדו נא לעמוד לתורה. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו, ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם חיים כולכם היום.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah haya mekor chayenu chei ha'olamim asher bachar banu b'ahava uvratzon
V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. בחודש השלישי לצאת בני ישראל מארץ מצרים, ביום הזה באו מדבר סיני, וייסעו מרפידים ויבוא מדבר סיני, ויחנו במדבר, ויחן שם ישראל נגד ההר. At the exact beginning of the third month of our getting out of Mitzrayim, we arrive and camp around the mountain there in the open speaking place, Sinai. ומשה עלה אל אלוהים, ויקרא אליו אדוני מן ההר לאמור, כה תאמר לבית יעקב ותגד לבני ישראל, אתם ראיתם את אשר עשיתי למצרים, ואשא אתכם על כנפי נשרים, ואביא אתכם אליי. Moshe goes up to Elohim. Elohim calls to him from out of the mountain, saying, this is what you will now tell to the house of Yaakov and tell to all Israel. You have seen what I have done to Mitzrayim, and now I have brought you as on wings of eagles. I bring you to me. ואתה אם שמוע תשמע בקולי ושמרתם את בריתי והייתם לי סגולה מכל העמים כי לי כל הארץ ואתם תהיו לי ממלכת כהנים וגוי קדוש. אלה הדברים אשר תדבר אל בני ישראל. So now, if you really are open to hearing my voice and connect into my berit, then you will be for me a special people among the nations. I own all the land, and you will become for me a kingdom of transformative Kohanim, a completely realized people. These are the words that you are going to say to the children Yisrael. ויבוא משה ויקרא לזקני העם וישם לפניהם את כל הדברים האלה אשר ציווהו אדוני ויענו העם יחדיו ויאמרו כל אשר דיבר יה נעשה וישב משה את דברי העם אל אדוני. Now Moshe comes, brings the best of us together and puts before us all of these things that Yah is directing. We all answer together everything that Yah says, we will do it. Moshe brings back our words to Yah. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe. הנה אנוכי בא אליך באב הענן במוד, ישמע העם בדברי עמך, וגם בך יאמינו לעולם. ויגד משה את דברי העם אל אדוני. Now Yah says to Moshe, here, I will come to you in a cloud presence standing there so that all of the people can really hear me as I speak through you. and then they will also trust you and believe in you forever. So Moshe brings back these words from the people to Yah. Now Yah says, go to the people, get them ready, have them be fully present, and stand true, dress in clean presence, be fresh, for in the third day, ki vayom hashlishi, yered Adonai le'nei kol ha'am al Har Sinai. Yah's presence will descend onto the summit of the mountain before all of us. Make a boundary between the mountain and the rest of the people, because it will be too much for them. You will be the one who will carry the word. Vayehi bayom hashlishi biyot haboker. And now, it's the third day, the morning arise. Vahi kolot uvrakim va'anan koved al hahar v'kol shofar chazak meod vayecherad kol ha'am asher b'machaneh. Third day, voices are heard, thunder, lightning, a thick cloud comes to the summit. A shofar voice is heard, extremely powerful. We all are seized with trembling there in the camp. Vayotze Moshe et ha'am likrat ha'elohim min ha'machaneh. Moshe brings us out to meet Elohim, takes us out of our camp into new territory. Vaytyesvu b'tachti tahar, and we stand there at the base of the mountain. Har Sinai ashan kulo mipnei asher yarad alav Yah ba'esh vayal ashano ke'eshen hakishan vayecherad kol hahar me'od. Now the mountain itself is covered in cloud and smoke and flame. Smoke rises as from a huge furnace, and the very mountain is trembling. Vayi kol hashofar holech v'chazak meod. Moshe yedaber v'ha'elohim ya'anenu v'kol. The sound of shofar travels, moves around, powerful and greater indeed. Moshe speaks, Elohim answers and channels through Moshe in audible voice. Vayered Yah Har Sinai. Yah arrives on Har Sinai. There Moshe goes up to receive. Everyone stands at a distance. The voice speaks through Moshe, who begins to channel in deep silence. Vaydaber Elohim et kol hadvarim ha'ele lemor. Yah speaks all of these things, saying, Anochi, Aleph, transcendent, immanent presence comes together in the now. The terms of the contract naming the parties. Anochi, Yah Elohecha. I am Yah Elohecha, who has brought you out of Mitzrayim, out of the slave house. You may not have any other possible Elohim, no other lesser presences, whether they be in the land, in the sky, whether they be made out of any material things, because Yah, I am your only Elohim. I am zealous, and I will indeed carry the bad karma that you would create into the third or fourth generations, but I will carry my love and my chesed to the thousandth generation if you will open to love me. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim. Lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim al panai. Lo taseh lecha pesel v'chol temuna asher bashamayim imal v'asher ba'aretz mitachat v'asher b'mayim mitachat la'aretz. לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם, כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אלקנה, פוקד עוון אבות על בנים, על שילשים ועל ריבעים לשונאי, ועושה חסד לאלפים, לאוהבי ולשומרי מצוותי. You may not use the spirit essence of Yah to swear falsely. It is not acceptable to Yah. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא, כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא. Now remember and hold on to Shabbat to make it a time of perfection. You will do your work in the world and your controlling activities for 6 days, but the seventh day is Shabbat for Yah Elohecha. You will do no controlling work. You, your families, the people who work with you, and everyone who lives in your gates. For in 6 surges of energy, Yah created heavens and earth, chaos and order, the sea, everything that is in it, and then stopped that process on the 7th day, creating the well of consciousness to comes into the world on Shabbat into perfection. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho, sheshet yamim ta'avod ve'asita et kol melachtecha. ויום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך, לא תעשה כל מלאכה, אתה ובנך ובידך, עבדך ואמתך ובהמתך וגרך אשר בשעריך, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בם, וינח ביום השביעי. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. If you desire to live life to its fullness on this earth given to you by Yah, you must always show respect to your parents. כבד את אביך ואת אמך, למען יאריכון ימיך על האדמה, אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך. You may not murder. Lo tirtzach. You may not cheat in any situation or relationship. Lo tin'ah. You may not be in jealousy of the house of your neighbor. Lo tachmod beit re'echa. You may not feel jealousy for anything that your neighbor has, for the other possessions, for their families, for anything that they might have. You may not feel jealousy of the other. Lo tachmod eshet re'echa v'avado v'amato v'shoro v'chamaro v'chol asher l're'echa v'chol ha'am רואים את הקולות ואת הלפידים ואת כל השופר ואת ההר עשן וירא כל העם וירא כל העם ויענו ויעמדו מרחוק. And we all have heard the voices. We have seen the voices. We have heard the flames and the lights all around, and the call of the shofar everywhere, and the smoke on the mountain. And we stand from a distance saying to Moshe, you go and speak for us. We'll listen, but not let Elohim speak to us directly. It would kill us. Vayomer Moshe el alam al tira'u. Moshe says to us, don't be in fear. Ki leva'avur nasot etchem ba Elohim. Elohim has brought you here for a great purpose, to test you, to temper you, to make you into an ideal presence for all nations. Uva'avur tiyeh yirato al pneichem. And that the awareness of the presence of Yah should always show on your faces to the world, and so that you would never go off the true path. Uvar va'avur tiyeh yirato al pneichem levilti techetau. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
This is a time to bring to your heart whatever bracha you might need at this time. May the Holy One of Blessing, who has blessed all of our people, who blessed all of us, all generations past, present, and future, all who are born into and all who choose the Jewish path, past, present, and future. Bless us to open our hearts to a whole new paradigm of living. The challenge, the refinement, the preparation, the openness to discovering the divine presence, the Shekhinah presence, active in our lives in Torah. Life is response to that active power that calls us every moment to service and to holiness. Breathe into whatever special bracha you yourself seek at this time. For all these blessings, Keni Ratzon, so may they come to pass in service of the highest good.
Amen.
At this time, it is our further custom to offer prayers for healing. As we call out the ancient words that Moshe Rabbeinu sung out when Miriam, his sister, was stricken, and he prayed, Ana elna rafana Allah, please God, please heal. You might wish at this time to bring into your heart, or if you're a group watching, to hit pause to call out the names of those for whom our healing prayers are offered this morning. Ana elna refana la Ana elna refana la Ana elna refana la Ana elna refana. We pray for a complete healing, a healing of body, and a healing of spirit for all of us, and for everyone whom we hold in our hearts today. We stay present and all again rise together as we did for the Aseret HaDibrot. We rise together for the blessing of the new month.
Yehi ratzon milefonecha, Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, shetechadesh aleinu et hachodesh hazeh letovah v'li v'racha v'titen lanu chayim arukim
Chaim shel shalom,
Chaim shel tovah,
Chaim shel bracha.
May it be your desire, God, to us and our ancestors, to renew this month for us,
for goodness,
and for blessing.
Gift us with long life,
Lives of peace,
goodness and blessing,
nourishment, sustenance.
May we enjoy healthy bodies,
Lives filled with awe and reverence to avoid wrongdoing.
May our lives be free of shame and reproach. Lives filled with abundance and honor,
Love of Torah
and
and
awe
of
of heaven,
in which our true desires will be fulfilled for the good. We say, Amen. Chaim shetivanu avat Torah veyirat shamayim Chaim sheyimalu mishalu libeinu letova. Amen. Selah.
May the one who made miracles for our ancestors,
redeeming them from slavery to freedom,
continue to redeem us.
Bring us all together, end alienation.
One love, one heart,
For we are all
one fellowship.
The new month of Adar will begin this Thursday night on the 6th day and on Shabbat the 7th day. Rosh Chodesh Adar yeh b'yom hashishi uv'macharo b'yom Shabbat Kodesh haba aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael l'tova. May it be for us and for the whole world a time of good news. Purim coming. We can be a little looser. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 הקדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ולשלום לששון ולשמחה לישועה ולנחמה ונאמר
Watch for that silver sliver of the new moon on Thursday night when she rises in the night sky. We stay present as the scroll is lifted.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. ישראל ואורייתא קודשא בריחו חרוב. ישראל ואורייתא קודשא בריחו חרוב. תורה אורה תורה אורה הללויה. תורה אורה תורה אורה הללויה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרמתיה דרכיה וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו
Holding in our hearts our commitment to receive Torah, to understand freedom in an entirely new way. Freedom is commitment, as love. Freedom is holiness. We walk the walk from Mitzrayim to Har Sinai with prayers for shalom in our hearts. Holding in our hearts, in our rush to freedom, a vision of the way the world can be and must be. Od yavo shalom.
Aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom.
One love, one heart.
Od yavo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
Salam.
Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, salam, v'ne'ema, ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'aretz. Vayom ha'hu, vayom ha'hu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
Holding in our hearts a vision of a perfected world. At this time, we offer a Kaddish Yatom and Mourner's Kaddish, inviting all who are perhaps in a time of mourning, or observing a yahrzeit, or who have taken upon yourselves the custom to rise into Mourner's Kaddish in behalf of all of those who have perished, with no one to say Kaddish for them. Bring into your heart the ones for whom you offer a Mourner's Kaddish this morning. If you are group watching, you may wish to likewise hit pause at this time in order to call out their names. Kaddish Yatom.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעולמה תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביום חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעולמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
May the maker of shalom above continue to make shalom for us. Help us walk a path of shalom. Help us become the shalom which we seek. And may there be wholeness, completion, fulfillment, and perfection for us and for all of the peoples and creatures of this world. As is our custom, we close our Torah service singing Ein Keloheinu.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Ein Keloheinu, מושיענו, נודה לאלוהינו, נודה לאדוננו, נודה למענו, נודה למושיענו, נודה לאלוהינו, נודה לאדוננו, נודה למענו, נודה למושיענו, ברוך אלוהינו, ברוך אדוננו, ברוך מענו, וברוך מושיענו, ברוך אלוהינו, ברוך אדוננו, ברוך מענו, ברוך מושיענו. אתה הוא אלוהינו, אתה הוא אדוננו, אתה הוא מלכנו, אתה הוא מושיענו, אתה הוא אלוהינו, אתה הוא אדוננו, אתה הוא מלכנו, אתה הוא מושיענו. שבת, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.